Pan American Life Insurance Company. Each week, teams of scholars representing 64 area high schools vie in interscholastic competition on Varsity Quiz Bowl. Your moderator for Varsity Quiz Bowl is Mel Levitt.
Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to Varsity Quiz Bowl. In the first match of the day, doubleheader, St. Martin's Episcopal School, our defending champion from last year, meets South Terrebonne High School. Right now, we'd like you to meet the participants in today's first game, and we'll start with St. Martin's and Miss Andry.
I'm Jean Andrew, and I'm a senior.
Scott Sanders, senior.
Hans Johnson, junior.
Jill DeMont, senior.
The alternate for St. Martin's is John Wallen. St. Martin's coaches, Bonnie Bain and June Wells. Welcome back, St. Martin's Protestant Episcopal. They'll be competing today with South Terrebonne High. South Terrebonne, would you introduce yourselves, please?
Jeffrey Pellegrin, junior.
Michael Baskell, senior.
Dwayne Eshday, senior.
Carol Dutu, junior.
The alternate for South Terrebonne is Gary Dupre, and the coach is Louise Hebert. South Terrebonne High. Before we get started, we'd like you to meet our scorer, Phyllis Hartley. Phyllis is the Associate Director of Records at the University of New Orleans. Our judge is Dr. Ann Akers. Our recognizer for today is Beth Arroyo. Our producer, Terry Utterback. Round of applause for these people, too. Okay, good luck, teams. If you're ready, I am. And here we have a face-off leading up to an audio lanyap at 20 points. First question. His father-in-law was the President of the United States. For 10 points, name the man who was recently inaugurated as Governor of Virginia. The new Governor of Virginia is Charles Robb. We have another face-off. You can earn 10 points if you can correctly tell me what well-known tennis star was recently voted female...
St. Martin Zander.
Tracy Austin.
That's correct. You're on the board. St. Martin's with 10 points. Tracy Austin was named Female Athlete of the Year for 1981 by the Associated Press. Okay, St. Martin's, you have an audio lanyap of 20 points, and I'd like you, before we ask the questions, to listen, and you'll hear part of the prelude of the score of a well-known movie. You might say that was for the birds. We had some bird calls in there, which is not ordinary orchestration, but it should give you a clue. For 5 points, first question, name the movie.
Cinderella.
No, it's Sound of Music. Okay, you got 3 more questions, though, based on the first question, so it can't be that bad. You all know, of course, that Julie Andrews played the female lead in that motion picture. So for 5 points apiece, tell me what movie stars played the male lead, played Max, and played the Baroness. All right?
Christopher Plummer played the lead.
Correct. Max?
Mac von Sydow played Max.
That was Richard Hayden. Baroness was played by? Remember her?
Catherine Deneuve.
No, this was Eleanor Parker, but you, let's see, you got one of them, and that's 5 points for St. Martin's. Gives you 15 already. Here's another face-off. We're going for a lanyap of 30. The New Orleans Museum of Art recently received the largest single donation that the museum has ever received from McDermott Incorporated. Question for 10 points. For what exhibition is the money being donated?
St. Martin's Jonasson.
Search for Alexander.
That's correct. 10 points. Brings us up to a lanyap of 30. It's one of our mystery questions based on clues. You'll earn 30 points if you identify this modern American novelist after the first clue. 20 points if you need 2 clues. 10 points if it takes all 3. First clue for 30. He was born in 1905 and grew up in Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Expelled from high school, he lost his chance to go to Yale University, a loss from which he never really recovered. We'll ask for an answer.
Kurt Vonnegut.
No, we'll move on to clue number 2 for 20 points. Same man. He was a disciplined writer who drew upon his experiences to create short, spare, nearly plotless stories, composed mostly of dialogue. A group of these became the musical Pal Joey. Ring a bell?
Updike.
No. Number 3 for 10 points. His first novel was Appointment in Samara. Although his reputation rests upon his short stories, his fame and riches came from popular novels such as A Rage to Live and From the Terrace.
O'Hara.
That's correct. John O'Hara for 10 points. We have another face-off going for a lagniappe at 20 teams. Mozart, Byron, Moliere, and George Bernard Shaw are all based works on the life of this one man, and especially
St.
upon
Martin's
his...
Jonasson.
Don Juan.
That's correct. Don Juan. About to say, especially upon his rather unusual personality. Your lagniappe is 20. One King Henry of England had 2 children who were to rule the nation. And a 16th century English King Henry had 3 children who grew up to rule the country. For 10 points each, correctly identify these 2 Henrys by number.
Henry II and Henry VIII.
You've got them both. We have another face-off going for a lagniappe at 20 points. The question, in the annual classical music tally in London, the composer rated the most popular in London's concert halls...
St. Martin's Jonasson.
Beethoven.
...was Beethoven in 1981. Fair to say 1881, he probably was most popular in 1881, too. At any rate, you got 10 points. Here's a lagniappe at 20. The dictionary lists one letter of the English language as an aspirate when it begins a word, and 3 stop consonants that become aspirates when they end a word. For 5 points apiece, what are these letters?
H is an aspirate at the beginning.
W and Y.
All right, we'll ask you to speed it up, please.
W, Y, and U are aspirates in the middle.
No, I'm sorry. H is correct at the beginning. The others are P, T, and K. All right, we have 5 points, though. St. Martin's School. And another face-off. We're going for a lagniappe at 20. For a quick 10, what fraction reduced to lowest terms is equivalent to the decimal 0.125?
St. Martin's Xander.
1/8.
1/8 is correct. Your lagniappe. For 5 points apiece, a total of 20. Name the country singers who made the following songs national hits. First, Lucille.
Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers.
Right. Behind Closed Doors.
Charlie Rich.
Charlie Rich.
You've got it. Coat of Many Colors.
Merle Haggard.
Merle Haggard.
No, this was Dolly Parton.
Oh.
And finally, Coal Miner's Daughter.
Loretta Lynn.
You bet. 3 of the 4. 15 points. We have a face-off leading to a lagniappe at 20 points. This is a quickie for 10 points. Tell me, what garment did the firm of Bradley, Voorhees, and Day make?
St. Martin's de Man.
Gloves.
No, I'm afraid not. South Terrebonne. Anyone?
South Terrebonne Pellegrin.
Shoes.
No, the firm of Bradley, Voorhees, and Days took their initials, BVD, to make BVDs, men's shorts. Another face-off. I think that's outmoded now. Do anybody make those anymore? I got a face-off going for a lagniappe at 20. This is very quick for 10 points. What is the Aurora Australis?
St. Martin's de Man.
The Southern Lights.
That's right. The equivalent of the Northern Lights. Southern counterpoint of the Northern Lights, or Borealis. Here we have a lagniappe at 20. Most Americans know that George Washington's estate was called Mount Vernon. For 10 points apiece, name the estates belonging respectively to Thomas Jefferson and James Madison.
Monticello and Montpelier.
All right.
Monticello and Montpelier.
That is absolutely correct. Monticello for Jefferson, Montpelier for Madison. And the buzzer has sounded, which leads us right on in to a rapid fire round. Remember, in rapid fire, I ask the questions as quickly as they're answered. If you answer correctly, it's 10 points. Incorrect answers are -5. There are no referrals as we encounter in toss-ups. You must answer the question correctly or incorrectly, and we proceed immediately until we reach the end of the 2-minute countdown. As always, we have a theme, and today's rapid fire will be keyed to biology. Biology is our theme. The answers will all be arranged alphabetically, beginning with A. And if we reach Z successfully, we'll go back to A again. So beginning with A, first question, known as the building blocks of protein.
St. Martin's Xander.
Amino acids.
Correct. The study of plants.
St. Martin Johnson.
Botany.
Correct. A stiff polysaccharide that makes up the
St.
outer
Martin
covering.
Johnson.
Chitin.
Chitin is correct. The extensions of a neuron that receive impulses
St.
from
Martin
stimuli.
Xander.
Steve.
Dendrites. All of the organisms present present in a particular area together with their physical environment is called what?
South Terrebonne Pellegrin.
Ecology.
No, it's ecosystem. Another name for anaerobic respiration.
St. Martin Jonasson.
Fermentation. The study of heredity.
South Terrebonne Pellegrin.
Genetics.
That's correct. Animal or plant bearing both male and female
South Terrebonne
sex organs.
Pellegrin.
Hermaphrodite.
That is correct. The study of fishes.
St. Martin Jonasson.
Ichthyology.
That's correct. Another name for a medusa.
St. Martin Jonasson.
Jellyfish.
That's right. A protein that makes up hair and fingernails.
St. Martin Jonasson.
Keratin. A white blood cell is what?
St. Martin Zander.
Leukocyte.
That's right. Black pigment that gives dark color to
St. Martin
organisms.
Jonasson.
Melanin.
That's right. Darwinian theory that explains
St.
why
Martin
organism.
Natural selection.
Natural selection's correct. Movement of a solvent through a
St. Martin
semi-permeable
Zander.
membrane.
Osmosis.
That's right. The order of mammals that contains monkeys, apes,
St. Martin
man.
Jonasson.
Primates.
Primates is right. Four-footed animal.
St. Martin Jonasson.
Quadruped.
Process in which food is burned to release energy.
St. Martin Jonasson.
Respiration.
Respiration is correct. A disaccharide, also known as table sugar,
St. Martin de Mont.
is sucrose. Insect part between head and abdomen.
St. Martin Jonasson.
Thorax.
Thorax is right. Body stalk connecting embryo
South
and
Terrebonne
placenta
Pellegrin.
is umbilical cord. Lower chambers of the heart.
St. Martin Jonasson.
Ventricle.
Correct. What annelids and planaria are? Worms. Tissue that conducts sap from the
St.
roots.
Martin Jonasson.
Xenotissue.
Xylem. Nutritive material for a chicken embryo.
St. Martin de Mont.
Yolk.
Yolk is right. What's that? We ended. Okay, that winds up. That winds up our rapid fire. Incidentally, I believe the judges decided to accept ecology as the answer from Mr. Pellegrin. We said ecosystem. We're not going to fault you on it. Same idea. We'll be back in, well, briefly. For our intermission, we're going to talk about the two schools, or that is the captains will, and give us some idea of their background and some of the activities, and then we'll continue play on Varsity Quiz Bowl. Stay tuned, won't you?
If I found a collaborator who never contributed one goddamn idea to anything we were doing, but whose bad ideas gave me good ones, I'd rather have him than Shakespeare.
Samson Rafelson looks back on a life of writing for stage and screen. This week on Creativity with Bill Moyers.
See you tomorrow afternoon at 2 here on Channel 12.
As you see the score at halftime in our game between South Terrebonne and St. Martin's School. We resume play in just a few moments, but right now we're going to get a report from the captains of the two teams about their schools. Give us an idea of what goes on at St. Martin's and South Terrebonne, and we'll start with Scott Zander. Scott?
St. Martin's is a co-educational school offering instruction from the pre-kindergarten through the 12th grade. The school is growing in all areas, including the Fine Arts Department, which has recently added dance to its curriculum. The department is also preparing for a production of Oklahoma. Other advances in our course offerings include such subjects as media, Shakespeare, computers, and science fiction. Our new library has also been completed. The basketball, gymnastics, and wrestling teams are doing well, and the soccer team is breezing to an almost certain repeat performance in the playoffs.
Thank you very much, Scott. I'm not sure whether I consider breezing to be an editorial comment or not, but you've got a very good soccer team and an excellent school. We're always delighted to have your school represented. South Terrebonne is back again. I think they started here 8, 9 years ago that Louise Hebert has been bringing her team to Varsity Quiz Bowl. And their captain this year is Michael Basco. Michael, tell us about South Terrebonne.
South Terrebonne, a quad-A high school serving students in grades 10 through 12 and located in the southern part of Terrebonne Parish, offers a balanced curriculum aimed at preparing students for vocational as well as professional careers. During its 20-year history, South Terrebonne's physical plant and educational resources have constantly been improved. Microcomputers, video cassette recorders, and a variety of media resources offer students new opportunities in learning. Over the years, the Gators have won many state, district, and individual honors in athletic competition, while our academic achievements have distinguished ST as a leader among Louisiana's schools. Both our faculty and our students hope to uphold and maintain the standards set for us as part of a forward-moving system, as we strive to live up to our motto, loyalty, honor, and integrity.
It's a good motto and a good school. Good job, Michael. Excellent. South Terrebonne, incidentally, was one of the first schools outside of the immediate 4 or 5 parish area to join us on Varsity Quiz Bowl, and I think you should be proud of that, and we're very happy to have you, of course. Okay, let's begin play now in our second half. And we're going to start with a visual face-off that'll lead up to a lanyap at 20 points. So if you'll direct your attention here to the monitors, both sides of the studio, we'll proceed. You'll see a photograph, and there it is, of a well-known author whose 10-part series is now in its 3rd run on public broadcasting stations. For 10 points, name this author of Free to Choose.
St. Martin's de Mont.
Milton Friedman.
You've got it for 10 points. Famous economist Milton Friedman. Your lanyap is 20 points in 4 parts. For 5 points each, I'll give you some information about 4 people. You tell me the nicknames by which they were known. First, the commander of the U.S. troops in the China, Burma, India area from 1942 to 1944, Joseph Stilwell. What did they call Joe Stilwell?
Smoking Joe.
Smoky Joe. Only a very few called him that. The others called him Vinegar Joe. Okay. Number 2, the well-known frontier character, Pony Express rider and scout, whose real name was Martha Jane Burke or Martha Jane Cannery.
Calamity Jane.
That's correct. All right, number 3, the father of Confederate General Robert E. Lee, who was a celebrated cavalry officer in the Revolutionary War.
Light Horse. Harry.
Light Horse Harry is correct. And finally, that sneaky Coventry man who looked out of his window to see Lady Godiva go by.
Peeping Tom.
Correct, and great expression entered the English language with that. 3 of the 4, 15 points. We have another face-off. We're going for a lanyap of 30. This is a short one. Listen up. For 10 points, the news agency of the Soviet Union is known by
South Terrebonne Pellegrin.
TASS.
TASS is correct for 10 points. Well, we want to know if you can speak British. Not English, British. The British, of course, have the same language, but often their words for common objects, as you know, are very different from ours. All right, for 5 points apiece, what do the following British words have as an American equivalent? The British word is lorry, L-O-R-R-Y, in American. Correct. Serviette, S-E-R-V-I-E-T-T-E. That's what they call a napkin. Spanner. Spanner is the same as our wrench. Torch. The equivalent?
Flashlight.
Flashlight, correct. Map pins would be the same as what we call thumbtacks. And finally, lift.
Elevator.
That's right. I believe you had 3 of them. That's 15 points. South Terrebonne. Our next face-off leads to a lanyap of 20 points, teams. And here it is. Utopia is supposed to be a perfect state in which everyone is happy.
Thomas More.
That is correct. The author, Sir Thomas More. That entitles you to this 20-point lanyap. Dr. Zhivago is a not-too-distant award-winning film. For 10 points apiece now, answer the following questions about the movie. First, what was the name of the theme song?
Lars theme. Lars theme.
Lars theme.
That's right. And second, what stringed musical instrument was featured?
Balaclava.
No, it's a balalaika. Balalaika. You had 1 of the 2, and it's 10 points. You couldn't eat that one, I don't think. All right, here's another face-off. We're going for a lanyap at 20. For 10 points, what popular dance of the 1950s was launched by the popular singer Chubby?
Baskel, South Terrebonne.
Twist.
The twist is correct for 10 points. Chubby Checker. Got a 20-point lanyap, South Terrebonne. I'll give you 5 points apiece for each sport you can correctly identify from the following combinations of nicknames. First, Mr. Inside and Mr. Outside were part of what sport? Great performers in what sport? Ask for an answer, please.
Football.
That's right, it was. Blanchard and Davis of the West Point team, or Army team in the mid-1940s. Second, Me and Paul, or at least that's how it was advertised by 1 of the 2. Me and Paul was part of what sport? Answer, please.
Baseball.
Baseball's right. It was Dizzy Dean and his brother. That's how Diz referred to the combination. Tinker to Evers to Chance. What sport?
Basketball. Or hockey.
Ask for an answer?
Basketball.
No, this was baseball. And finally, the 4 Horsemen of Notre Dame.
Football. Football.
Football's correct. You had 3 of the 4, 15 points for South Terrebonne. This face-off is pointing for a lanyap of 30. For 10 points, tell me which U.S. state capital has the smallest population.
Jonathan, St. Martin's.
Providence.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. We'll repeat now in its entirety for South Terrebonne. Must ring for recognition. For 10 points, tell me which U.S. state capital has the smallest population. Must ring.
Pilgrims, South
Do you know
Terrebonne.
Alaska?
No, it's Carson City, Nevada. Carson City, Nevada. Another face-off for 10 points. What term is used to mean a peculiarity of language or phraseology for
Pilgrims,
which
South
there is...
Terrebonne.
Malapropism?
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. We'll repeat for St. Martin's. Must ring in. No consultation for 10 points. What term is used to mean a peculiarity of language or a phraseology for which there is no logical grammatical explanation?
Xander, St. Martin's.
Idiom.
Idiom's right. 10 more points for St. Martin, and here's a 30-point lagniappe. The Egyptian Sphinx is one of the world's most famous mythical beasts. For 10 points apiece, identify the following mythical beasts. First, the creature with the head and wings of an eagle and the body of a lion.
Griffin.
Right. The winged horse, ridden by Bellerophon.
Pegasus.
Correct again. Number 3, the imaginary beast with eyes of flame from a Lewis Carroll nonsense poem.
Jabberwocky.
The Jabberwocky.
That's right. Beware of the Jabberwock. My son picked you up 10 points. 30 points for St. Martin's in all. We have another face-off going for a lagniappe at 20 for 10 points. The terms intaglio, contrapposto, and chiaroscuro are of great interest
Andrew,
to...
St. Martin's.
Art.
Art is right. Great interest to art or artists. And we have this lagniappe of 20 as a result for 10 apiece. Name the 2 French artists who led the Cubist movement. The 2 major ones, generally considered to be the leaders of Cubism. All right, we'll ask for an answer, please.
Brock and Seurat.
Brock is correct. The other would be Picasso, Pablo Picasso. He picked up 10 points. Here's another face-off going for a lagniappe of 20. According to Natural History magazine, which timed these animals, by the way, and for 10 points, in this crazy race, would an elephant, a chicken, or a black mamba snake be most likely to finish last?
Pilgrims, South Terrebonne.
Black mamba snake?
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. We'll repeat now for St. Martin's. According to Natural History magazine, which timed these animals in a most unusual race, for 10 points, would an elephant, a chicken, or a black mamba snake be most likely to finish last in a short race?
Jonathan, St. Martin's.
Elephant.
No, all around it, a chicken, actually, would be the laggard. We settled a momentous question with that. We have another face-off going for a lagniappe at 20. As a result of Voyager 1 and 2, new maps are being made of the moons of outer planets.
Jonathan, St. Martin's.
Titan.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. We repeat for South Terrebonne. As a result of Voyager 1 and 2, new maps are being made of the moons of the outer planets. For 10 points, of what planet is Iapetus a moon? I-A-P-E-T-U-S.
Pascal, South Terrebonne.
Saturn.
That's right. 10 points. And here's a lagniappe at 20 points. Mexico City is the capital of Mexico. Algiers is the capital of Algeria. For 5 points apiece, using these examples as parallels, name the capitals of 3 Middle American countries and 1 South American country whose names derive from the name of the country itself.
All right, Brasilia, Panama City, Guatemala City.
Okay, 1 South American and 3 Middle American. We'll give you a total of 20 points if you can name them.
I delegate to Mr. Pellegrin.
All right, fine. That's your prerogative.
Guatemala City, Guatemala.
Right?
Panama City, Panama.
Correct.
Brasilia, Brazil.
Correct.
And San Salvador,
That's
San
correct.
Jose.
That's correct. And you have 20 points in all. South Terrebonne. You didn't have to give us the country's name, just the capital, but you got them, and here's a face-off going for a lagniappe at 20. The first violins date from the 1500s, and by the late 1600s, a little Italian town is
Jonathan,
becoming
St. Martin's.
important.
Stradivarius?
No, I'm afraid that's not correct. South Terrebonne, I'll repeat, the first violins date from the 1500s. By the late 1600s, a little Italian town had become an important center of violin making due to the craftsmanship of the Amati family and Antonio Stradivarius. For 10 points, the question is, can you name the town? The town.
Pellegrin, South Terrebonne.
Genoa?
No, it was called Cremona. And it's still called Cremona. Here's another face-off for 10 points. In which African republic is the city of Timbuktu located?
Pellegrin, South Terrebonne.
Tanzania.
No, I'm afraid that's not correct. We'll repeat now for St. Martin's for 10 points. In which African republic is the city of Timbuktu located? Anyone want to take a shot?
Xander, St. Martin's.
Zaire.
No, it's the Republic of Mali. M-A-L-I. Another face-off. The oceanographic research vessel used by the Cousteau Society is named
Pellegrin,
for...
South Terrebonne.
Calypso.
Calypso is correct. Named for a legendary and beautiful siren. You held Ulysses, I believe, for 7 years. You got 10 points. There's a lagniappe of 20. 2 European psychologists, 1 German, 1 Swiss. 1 introduced the world to psychoanalysis, and the other postulated the theory of the archetypal collective unconscious. For 10 points apiece, can you name them, these 2 psychiatrists?
Okay, Freud.
That's correct. That's one of them. And the other one, who split away from the Freudian school, is named Carl Jung. The collective unconscious theory. You picked up 10 points. South Terrebonne. We have this face-off. We're going for a lagniappe of 30. You'll earn 10 points if you can tell me the title of the book in which the following characters appear. George, Milton, Candy, Curly, Slim.
Andrew, St. Martin's.
Oklahoma.
No, afraid not. South Terrebonne will repeat. You'll earn 10 points if you can tell me the title of the book in which the following characters appear. George, Milton, Candy, Curly, Slim, and Lenny Small. The Book of Mice and Men. Later a play. Very famous one. Another face-off for 10 points. Tell me, who was the only president who'd served as Speaker of the House?
Xander, St. Martin's.
Taft.
No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. South Terrebonne. Can you take it? His name was James Polk. For a quick 10 points, how many lines are there in a sonnet?
Jonathan, St.
13.
Martin's.
Okay, the buzzer is sounded, and that automatically puts an end to the game. I'm sorry, we can't go over there. 13, I believe he said, yes. Unfortunately, Mr. Basco wanted a shot at it, but the buzzer went off, ending our game. We're going to validate that final score, and then officially we'll declare a winner in our final, or one of our final 2 games of the first round. Right after this, stay tuned, please.
He came to the United States in 1915, a Greek immigrant searching for success and respectability in a land of supposedly endless opportunity. He found that opportunity can knock with a vengeance. Michael Weldon, Larry Atlas, Barry Miller, and Andreas Katsoulis star in King of America, a special presentation in the humanities, searching for the American dream on American Playhouse.
See it tomorrow at 7 on Channel 12.
We're back again, and here's the final score. St. Martin's 350, South Terrebonne 115. St. Martin's, defending champion on Varsity Quiz Bowl, advances to the 2nd round. Congratulations. A very fine performance. St. Martin's will play the winner of the next game that we're going to have for you, Berwick High and Chalmette High, in the 2nd round. South Terrebonne, well, we're very sorry to see Michael go, and also, of course, Dwayne, who's played here before. They're going to graduate, but I believe Jeffrey and Carol will be back. Is that correct? Raise your hands there, folks. They'll be coming at you next year from South Terrebonne High, along with their coach, Louise Hebert. And how about Gary Dupre? Is he going to be back? Good, good. South Terrebonne High. And what more can I say? Oh, I wanted Barry to stand up. Barry Canton, stand up. Here's our most valuable player from last year, from St. Martin's, who proved how good you can be on Varsity Quiz Bowl in '81 and how unnecessary it is to have you on the team in '82. And I'm only kidding. We'll be back with game number 2. Stay tuned, won't you?
This year, 8 area colleges and universities are offering